Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Alfriti and Today FM rocks here in Taveuni.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilaiti Ambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks here in Osur.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, 22 supermarkets caught duping customers. 200 HIV cases recorded in the Taveuni province. And some teachers found ignoring challenges faced by children with albinism.
From the studios of FBC Suba, Amrita Sagar.
22 major supermarkets around the country are under the spotlight for selling rotten meat, fruits and vegetables. This came to light after the Consumer Council recently carried out their market surveillance and discovered a growing disregard of hygiene practices. The Council says this is a concern and it's unacceptable for supermarkets to be dwelling in such acts. Pranita Prakash reports.
The consumer watchdog, through a recent market surveillance, found out that traders are selling low-quality meat, fruits and vegetables unfit for consumption.
A total of 22 supermarkets were surveyed, and to our surprise, all 100% of the supermarkets that were surveyed have been found not to be complying with the Food Safety Act and regulations. It was more alarming to see that there were numerous issues. Leave aside the selling putrid meat, which is decayed or smelly meat, but also rotten fruits and vegetables. And there were also gross infestation of cockroaches in one of the major, or you can say leading supermarket that has chain of supermarkets in the country.
This is not only the case, as supermarkets are also tampering with the expiry dates.
There was one supermarket where actually my team had to go and tell them to remove the entire the quantity of meat from their freezer because they were tampering with the expiry date. What they have actually done was rip off the expiry date, and using a pen they wrote a new expiry date. But however, having a look at the product will tell you that that meat is unfit for consumption.
Chandil indicated at least one supermarket is facing legal action. She adds they will continue with the surveillance and will not hesitate to name and shame unscrupulous traders should they continue to retail unsafe, unhygienic and unfit meat, fruits and vegetables. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
The youngest patient admitted to the St. Giles Hospital after succumbing to the effects of substance abuse is around 14 years old. Now this is very concerning because at that age children should be spending their time in school instead of being rehabilitated. Akusita Tale reports the acting superintendent is stressing that it all goes back to square one, the family unit.
Dr. Kiran Gaikwad says one of the factors seen to be contributing to the increase in young people succumbing to the effects of drugs is a weak family structure.
Every family should have the family time. They should spend some hours with their children, with their kids. They should find out what their kids are doing. It's okay to check their mobiles. It's okay to go in their rooms and have a look what's happening there. What my son is doing or what my daughter is doing, where is she, at what time.
He says parents must relook at their roles and closely monitor their children's whereabouts and activities.
Boredom is another factor, where teens who can't tolerate being alone have trouble keeping themselves occupied, and then they start crave excitement and prime candidates for substance use. Right? Another thing is instant gratification. Once you use drug, the immediate effect is you will feel very happy, very nice, very relaxed.
Mental health advocate Dr. Taveuni Nutawa supports his call for the family unit to be strengthened.
Our family unit is the one that will be able to review it and will be able to mobilize it and probably instill some values in there to allow the younger generation that have been brought up in the Fijian families now to make decisions on their own.
Last year, a 17-year-old teenager was admitted to St. Giles Hospital after succumbing to the effects of methamphetamine or ice. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
An alarming 200 cases of HIV or human immunodeficiency virus has been recorded in the Taveuni province, and this has raised alarm bells. The figures have prompted the Taveuni Provincial Council to take action by engaging their subcommittee for health to work with the Health Ministry and other stakeholders to beat this problem. Savaratambua has more.
The Taveuni Provincial Council is concerned with a shocking statistic provided by the Health Ministry, and work is already underway to ensure effective awareness is being addressed.
Looking into areas where we can prevent diseases before we go for other medical service. At least that is something that we are looking into. All preventative measures that we can have, especially the workshop awareness program, working with the Health Ministry.
Council Chair Rusiate Tunravu says they are looking at other ways to address this. Health Minister Dr. Ifiremi Wangainambete says they have mechanisms in place to ensure those that are HIV positive are treated.
Because once it shifts to AIDS, then it's very difficult to look after them. So that 200 HIV, and as long as we're seeing 200 HIV and not the AIDS basket, then that means we're doing well in terms of identifying them and treating them so that they don't switch to AIDS.
The minister adds that although there is no cure for HIV and AIDS, there are still many ways to help HIV-positive patients stay healthy and live longer. Savaratambua, FBC News.
The Education Minister says most teachers and educators have been ignorant of the visual challenges children with albinism face in the classroom. Speaking at an albinism workshop for teachers in Suva today, Minister Rosie Akbar reveals sometimes complaints from children with albinism are ignored, and these include being unable to see the writing board or even being bullied. Kelly Vidala reports.
The welfare and development of children with albinism or any other disability depends on education, thus it's vital they need a lot of attention.
So if you can assure all Fijians that as teachers you will not discriminate any children based on disability, I think that would be a pledge from you, and we very much welcome that. Since 1967, Fiji has provided education for many children with disabilities, including those with albinism, through special and mainstream schools.
Akbar says there's been an increase in the enrollment of children with special needs over the years.
A total of 1,149 children with disabilities are attending special schools. 143 are in the inclusive schools, adding the total to 1,292 compared to 1,153 in 2018 and 1,149 in 2017.
The Senior Education Officer for Special and Inclusive Education says the workshop focuses on empowering teachers with information on how to facilitate students with albinism.
Teachers, we play an extremely important role in the lives of children with albinism, as we can help them grow and realize their full potential in life.
The platform also provides an open dialogue amongst teachers to discuss the health, physical, social and emotional issues that usually prevent students with albinism from excelling in class. Kelly Badala, FBC News.
CT scan and cath lab services are available in the public system, which can be accessed by anyone, says Health Minister Dr. Ifiremi Wangainambete. His comment comes as these services have been temporarily withdrawn by the Miot Pacific Hospital. The three major hospitals in Suva, Lautoka and Lambasa provide cardiology services, as Ritika Pratap reports.
Those who are heart patients at Miot Pacific International can access cath lab and CT scan services at the major public hospitals.
So any patient needing that and may not have that available can also, through the mechanisms of referral, can come across to the public system, and certainly that's offered in the public system.
However, the minister stresses patients may face some delays.
But certainly, because it's a public system, there'll be probably a bit of a wait. Emergency cases that needs a CT scan will have it, as quickly as possible. Those who are not too emergent will actually wait for a little bit. But that's because, they're following also a triaging system to do that.
A cath lab is an examination room with diagnostic imaging equipment used to visualize the arteries and chambers of the heart and treat any stenosis or abnormality found.
Government has been working very hard in the space of medical investigations and medical imaging. Over the last few years, there's been improvement in the laboratory services and also improvement in the imaging services.
Meanwhile, sources have reliably informed FBC News that Miot Pacific International and its partners are trying to resolve some internal issues relating to the running of the hospital. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Still to come, PM urges for new financial resources. An alarming increase of TB and brucellosis worries ministry. Details after the break.
Nambula FM, nambandua ya nasere.
Oya uvasit sai sai lambasa, ya ndo talita ina warong nambula FM nambandua ya nasere.
Guya do tumeli ako na tao no hinga toka. Talita kina na warong nambula FM, nambandua ya nasere.
Wana tuma nambula FM, nambandua ya nasere nawaluan. Na vengo fani na tao ne ngo singa toka. Kita ndo talita kana nambula FM, nambandua ya nasere.
Bula FM, nambandua.
Prime Minister Bainimarama has urged the United Nations Secretary-General to mobilize new financial resources and technical know-how to support nations facing severe stress from water shortages. Speaking at the high-level meeting on interlinkages between water and climate action at the UN headquarters today, Bainimarama urged the world to produce these resources, saying there are no other alternatives. Ritika Pratap reports.
The Prime Minister has challenged the world's major economies to live up to their commitments and boost public and private financing to $100 billion by next year. He stressed adaptation initiatives in water must be a priority in all economies.
If we don't act now, the nightmare scenario will become a reality. Every failure or setback holds lesson for us all. Every success can be applied on a larger scale and spare suffering for countless millions. Fiji is already turning words into action. We are already putting resources to work.
Bainimarama says if the current trends continue, climate-induced water stress will become massively prevalent. He says rising sea levels and stronger cyclones will create intense storm surges, washing salt water into freshwater aquifers and destroying vital water sources.
The devastation won't be limited to the coast. If we don't take action, the balance of the seasons will soon be written off as ancient history.
The outcomes of this high-level event will facilitate the implementation of the Water Action Decade, raising the momentum produced by the World Water Day. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister also held side meetings while in New York. Bainimarama met with the UN Secretary-General at the margins of the high-level meeting on interlinkages between water and climate action. He reassured the Secretary-General of Fiji's commitment towards UNSG Climate Summit in September. The Prime Minister also met with UN Secretary-General Special Envoy. He discussed the 2019 UN Climate Summit, which is the most important climate change meeting, especially since the Paris Agreement will be coming into force next year. Bainimarama says Fiji is interested in seeing world leaders adopt more ambitious climate goals and support transformative solutions to the new climate change programs. Hate is never a language of religion. Archbishop of the Catholic Church of Fiji, Peter Lloyd Chong, shared these sentiments while attending a vigil organized by Interfaith Fiji to remember the lives lost at the Christchurch shooting in New Zealand 2 weeks ago. Ali Kimbia, who was at the vigil last night, files this report.
Not mincing his words, Archbishop Peter Lloyd Chong says there is no room for ethnic hatred in Fiji and everyone should work towards the cause of humanity.
Our language is the language of God and language of love and peace and forgiveness, and so this is a good testimony of what the language of humanity, the language of God should be.
Archbishop Chong says to have the vigil at the Turak Masjid speaks volume of how religious bodies in the country came together and support the Muslim community in Fiji.
What we have tonight is basically one of those dimensions of inter-religious dialogue where we come together to pray together and also to stand together for common value.
For other religious bodies, the many vigil organized throughout the country signifies unity and togetherness.
That is that we are all together. We are together
in times of joy, festivity, also together at times of sorrow and pain.
And not only coming together, but to be able to work in our own faith denominations with our different congregations.
Meanwhile, various religious bodies and members of the diplomatic corps attended the vigil in Suva last night. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
The arbitration court has ordered that air traffic controller staff who continuously engage themselves in a dispute with Fiji Ports Limited to return to work immediately. An interim ruling was made following the Fiji Public Service Association raising issues before the arbitration court in 2 sittings. Details with Felipe Naikaso.
The arbitration court has further ordered the Fiji Public Service Association to either start or continue negotiations with Fiji airports on any log of claims. Responding to questions sent by FBC News, Fiji Airports Limited Communications Manager Christopher Chand says that in compliance with both the orders of the Minister and the arbitration court, the controllers must lawfully return to work. Chand says that the management is talking to all the controllers and employees under the open door policy. He states that a number of controllers have returned to work today and that they have welcomed them back with open arms. However, the air traffic staff spokesperson Kolokesa Kini says they will attend another arbitration court sitting tomorrow to clarify the orders given. Kini says that these are just interim court orders. He told FBC News that their main concern is to ensure their issues are dealt with and resolved with the Fiji Airports Limited. Kini also stated that out of the 33 air traffic controllers, 3 have decided to return to work and that no staff is been forced to stay. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
The alarming increase of tuberculosis and brucellosis in livestock worries the Agriculture Ministry. Minister responsible Dr. Mahendra Reddy says more manpower is needed to undertake inspections on every livestock farm around the country in an effort to address the ever-growing issue. Seniani Boiler reports.
Inspections include testing of animals which will need the farmers' cooperation in an effort to eradicate TB and brucellosis.
The moment we were hiring more people to go and do inspection. See, the first thing is inspection, testing of animals, before you can then pull the animal out and then see whether you would want to slaughter it or totally discard the carcass.
FNU Vice-Chancellor Professor Nigel Healy says, given the natural resources they have, they could exceed dairy production in New Zealand and other countries. However, these diseases are a major setback.
Experts funded by New Zealand's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade told us that with good animal husbandry, dairy yields could exceed those of New Zealand, given the high moisture content of our grass. But our dairy herds are beset with TB, and as a result we import most of our milk from New Zealand.
Farmers will have to ensure all their livestock are inspected to help identify diseased animals. They will first begin inspection in Witilevu before they move to the north. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
Fiji Ports Corporation Limited today paid 3 shareholders more than $16 million of dividend payment for 2018. This is a 337% increase from the 2014 dividend payout level. Kritika Kumar reports.
The Fiji Ports chair says FPCL's performance for 2018 has been strong despite the impacts of 2 tropical cyclones.
It had an impact on our operations in the first quarter of the year, but since then we've been able to pick up and encourage increase in traffics, resulting in good performance.
While providing the breakdown of the dividend, he says the large amount indicates that they have achieved their objective to provide better services for Fijians.
As far as Fijian government's interest is concerned, this dividends has increased in absolute terms. Prior to when the dividends were presented in 2015, the divestment, by about 4.5 million.
Meanwhile, the acting Prime Minister, while receiving over $6 million dividend payout, says it's not only about the dividend.
The dividends, of course, are good, and there's an enormous opportunity for growth. We've already seen the substantial amount of growth. We had the dividends being paid to us were minuscule previously.
The 3 shareholders who received the dividends includes the government, Fiji National Provident Fund and the Aitken Spence. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
Coming up in sports later with Jamie, Nasinu Under-19 Rugby League returns to claim long-lost glory. But up first is Rachel with business.
Thanks, Amrita. Good evening, and coming up after the break. Revenue continues to grow despite expanded list of duty concessions. And in growing Fiji new vet hospital in Nadi. Stay with us.
Voila, I am Eleanor. For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singapore. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Seni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Coral Coast, Singapore. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger, Singapore.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Leading business tonight, revenue continues to grow despite the expanded list of duty concessions and the increased tax threshold. Fiji Revenue and Customs Services Chief Executive Vishwanath Das says it's a reflection of their tax collection being efficient, their systems being more functional, and the legislation governing them more in line with the international best practices. Maggie Boyle reports.
The follow-on effect.
Revenue collection for the 2017-2018 fiscal year has already hit a high.
What we have done, of course, raised a revenue of $2.8 billion, which is 9.67% growth over the previous financial year.
On the distribution, VAT remains the top earner.
Our value-added tax revenue hovers around 32%, whilst income tax is 26%. This is not the tax rates, this is the portion of the revenue. So, and customs revenue is around 24%. Other taxes, which includes SRT, EKL, STT, and other tax types, is around 18%.
The FRCS also strategically aligning their customs concessions to further boost government coffers.
It can equally be said that some of this customs duty concession actually it creates more investment, more jobs, which in turn creates more imports, more trade, more export. So in the broader scheme of things, when we look at these high-level numbers happening internationally, it has direct impact on Fiji's economic performance.
Revenue and Customs today revealing this during a submission to the Public Accounts Committee. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
And Sanifa from HFC Bank joins us now with the latest from the money world.
A quick update on the global market. The US dollar rose as many of its peers weakened after more central banks opted to shift to a dovish policy stance in the wake of deteriorating economic prospects. The 10-year US Treasury note yield slipped to 2.342%, its lowest since December 2017, on worries about a global recession and after the Reserve Bank of New Zealand embraced a dovish tone on interest rates. The Australian dollar, which often moves in sympathy with the Kiwi, shared 0.7%. The Reserve Bank of Australia had last month abandoned its long-held tightening bias, and markets there are pricing in a cut this year. Later tonight, we'll have the US annualized gross domestic product for fourth quarter, followed by the Euro Consumer Prices Index for March. We'll wait and see how these releases will impact our Fiji dollar basket, if any at all. That's all from HFC Bank for now. Vinaka.
Thanks, Anifa. On to the exchange rates. As it was set this morning, the Fiji dollar showed strength to our two major markets today, gaining against the Aussie and the New Zealand dollar, however declined in the other currencies we cover. As for the commodities market, crude oil prices were down below $60 per barrel. Gold was also down at $1,310 per ounce, and silver fell as well to close at $15.28 per ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, another veterinary hospital and shelter opened in Langalanga, Nadi today. The project, which has been made possible by the Pacific Animal Shelter and Hospital, will provide low or no medical cost to domestic animals. Philip Nakasa with the details.
The state-of-the-art medical equipment and sheltering facility has opened its doors to reach out and assist in animal welfare issues.
We just saw the need there was,
and we wanted to do something, and it took a long time, a lot of discussions, a lot of fundraising, but we're here and we're very excited.
The facility offers medical desexing, operation, spraying and vaccinations on domestic animals. Pets can also be adopted from the shelter, with a veterinarian also available at the hospital.
Our hope is that we can help the local communities through education, through compassion that we hope we will all show here, and we know we will, that animals can be an amazing part of your life.
The multi-million-dollar project is currently being funded by an expat living in Fiji. The facility started construction in 2017 and currently employs 7 staff. Philippe Naikaso, FBC News.
And that's business for tonight. Jamie's up with sports.
Thanks and good evening. Up ahead in sports. Levi Ikanikonda back in Fiji's Sevens fold. And Madhuata Rugby Union targets spot in top division. There's more coming up.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Pritika from Jax Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Police Blue playmaker Levi Ikanikonda has been named in the Fiji Airways Sevens 14-member squad for the Hong Kong and Singapore tournaments. Ikanikonda marks his return to the national side after 8 years. Head coach Gareth Baber has also called in long-time extended squad member Napoleoni Ratu. Joshua Vakurunumbili, Paulan Ransinukula, Ratu Melin Dernalangi, and Sevuloni Modinadangi retained their places in the forwards, along with Isoa Tambu, who made his debut in the Las Vegas Sevens, and Apinisa Kaumalavu, who returns to the side, while Mesulame Kunavula misses the cut. Paulan Ransinukula will captain the team for the Hong Kong and Singapore Sevens. Gareth Baber believes Levi Ikanikonda is able to fill the void left by Vatemo Rabobo and Aminoni Naselasila in the playmaker's position. Baber says Ikanikonda caught his attention at the Maris Sevens last weekend, playing exceptionally well at the 2-day tournament. He adds Ikanikonda's experience in the position and physicality on the field will be a great asset for his team.
In Levi played exceptionally well last weekend. I thought that both he and Amanoni Nasila were standout players in that tournament. And it's been no secret that I am looking for playmakers, not having the likes of Noni or Wise or Vatamo to pick from. Then obviously you're looking for somebody who has control on the ball. Obviously Levi has been playing well, not just in Maris, but over the last few tournaments that I've seen, and last year as well when I've seen him play. So he gets an opportunity to come in now and put his hand up for that white jersey.
The Madhuata Rugby Union is taking all the help it can get as it aims for promotion this season. While its players are picked from community clubs, the union is also making full use of local qualified experts and coaches. Eleanor Turangeviu has more.
The Madhuata Rugby Union is utilizing the knowledge and services of FRU Development Officer in the North, Lemeki Sabua, and the Fiji Sports Commission to help the Madhuata Rugby side.
They're the most important people in developing rugby here in the North. With training, training of coaches and players as well.
The union's priority this year is to get back to the Skipper Cup competition.
We've been up there since 2017, and last year we were down to the Vodafone Cup, and this year our main focus is to move back into the Skipper competition.
Like any provincial side, money is a challenge. The Madhuata Rugby side has $25,000 to cater for its 7 Vodafone Cup games this season. They have 3 away games.
A trip to take this whole 60 squad across to Vita level, that's a lot of money. Comes to 10,000. We have some supporting finance with all the money that we have coming from the club game.
World Rugby Level 2 accredited coach Lebadi Dengitaki now has a tough task of training the 60-member extended squad as they prepare for the Vodafone Vanua Cup competition. The side plays Moa in the first game next month. Eleanor Turangaiview, FBC Sports.
Ratu Kandavulevu School and Tailevu North College won the Tailevu zone at Suva's NZ Stadium this afternoon. RKS defended the boys' title, bagging 42 gold, 36 silver and 20 bronze, while Tailevu North snatched the girls' title from Dawasamu High School, winning 24 gold, 14 silver and 10 bronze medals. Meli Tavanga has more.
The Ratu Kandavulevu School has once again showcased what it's like to be the best in the boys' division at the Tailevu zone.
We have a group of teachers working with the team, and they have been training during the last 4 or 5 weeks and preparing to defend the Tailevu zone. And I believe they're doing well at the moment.
The boys from the Lana Kaikai dominated in the 100 meters final, winning all the grades. Arkias will now bank on their favorite Kolinyor Nrunru, who will fly the blue and gold banner in the blue ribbon race at the Fiji finals next month after he clocked the fastest time of 10.95 seconds in the 100 meters final.
Kuli is doing very well. We saw him in the 100 meters and 200 meters, just won the 100 meters. Yes, we're hoping that he will lead the results in the sprint at least.
Meanwhile, with just less than a month from the co-games, 4 more zone meets are left, with the Suva Zone 1 to be held tomorrow at Suva's ANZ Stadium. Meli Tavanga, FBC Sports.
Nasinu Secondary School is hoping to reclaim long-lost glory at this year's Fiji Secondary Schools Rugby League Championship. Once regarded as the giants of schools rugby league in Fiji, Nasinu is fighting to end a 5-year Vodafone Cup drought. With its under 15, 17 and 19 teams all through to the national semis, Nasinu secondary coach Isikeli Kaloniviti says there is plenty hope for a win.
It's always been the aim of the past few years to try and get back that title, but it's been eluding us for I think the past 5 years or so. With preparations going this year, we're just comfortable now, and we are glad that we have reached the national semi-final stage.
The wait is finally over for All Blacks captain Kieran Reid as he returns to the Crusaders starting 15 for their top-of-the-table Super Rugby showdown against the Hurricanes in Wellington tomorrow night. That's it from sports tonight. Angie joins you later with weather, and in the world of the weird and the wonderful, a look at the most overcrowded island in the world. That's coming up.
Bula, nevang go malakai leloma, ngongai nakas untuk makarong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasere.
Hoya ubasit sai sa Lambasa, ya untuk talita na warong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasere.
Guya Dr. Meli, ako na tao no hinga toka, talita kina na warong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasere.
Warong tunga ng Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasere nawaluan.
Nevang go fani na tao no hinga toka, kita untuk talita kina ng Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasere.
Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasere.
In new media tonight, the ePad is an Android tablet that aims to bridge the gap by offering digital convenience with a truly paper-like experience. Quite interesting, and now we join Angie with the weather.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Hope your week's been going well. We're having showers when we least expect it, but it's settling gradually. In other news, we're going down the road towards the weekend. Now, taking a look in the west, the sun is always in favor this side, so it stayed mostly here. Eastwards from Bakhaba to Suva, it was slightly cooler with showers. And up north, sunny spells were quite comfortable. At sea, southeast winds gusting 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas. For the tides, high tide at 12:33 p.m. with low tide at 7:07 a.m. Sunrise at 6:12. For tomorrow, it's Friday. It will start bright, but rain clouds will dominate by afternoon or evening. Tomorrow's temps, Savu will be the coolest at 29 degrees. And looking further on to Saturday, it doesn't look that good as rain clouds and showers will be our visitors. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. I'm Rita.
Thank you, Angie. In Fijian Pulse tonight, we asked, will Levi Ikanikonda's inclusion make an impact in the Sevens team?
I believe Ikanikonda has been there. He is one of a very experienced player, and he's doing well in the club level with police. And I think coming in at this time is good for Fiji.
I think Ikanikonda will be a good addition to the team. From my perspective as an ardent supporter of Fiji Sevens, Levi is a good player, and I have no doubt that he will be a key player in Hong Kong.
He has already played for the Sevens team before, and he deserves the call up because he has played well at the Maris Sevens. Levi's inclusion into the team is really good. He has proven himself at many local tournaments and he will surely deliver.
Recapping the main stories, 22 supermarkets caught duping customers, 200 HIV cases recorded in the Taveuni province, and some teachers found ignoring challenges faced by children with albinism. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM, to our poll question segment. This week, we're asking, should motorists who continue to break road rules have their license suspended? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day, a beautiful shot of Malolo Island sent in by Tevita to Ilangilangi. You can also send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. And that was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe and good night.
Bula, nevang gomal kay leloma, ngongai nakas untuk makarong ng Bula FM, number 2 na seri.
Hoya ubasit sai lambasa, ya untuk talita na warong ng Bula FM, number 2 na seri.
Guya Dr. Meli, ako na tao no hinga toka, talita kina na warong ng Bula FM, number 2 na seri.
Warong tunga ng Bula FM, number 2 na seri maluan.
Nevang go fani na tao no singa toka, kita untuk talita ka ng Bula FM, number 2 na seri.
Bula FM, number 2 na seri.